Okay, today we are leaving early because I'm so tired. I just want to go back home, and I will actually explain a couple of things that what I did today. And especially lately, I was just looking at the videos that I was making. It looks more of a vlog than actually, building an application. So I just want to show you where the application building stages are at the moment. Yeah. So today I was working with the video processing in Rare Founders, and this is like going to be video streaming service. So users going to be able to upload their videos, and then I will be processing it in the background, and then users should be able to see their videos when they're only authenticated, not just open to public that everyone can see it. So I will show you how I'm actually handling that workflow. And also with the Idea Dream 1 application that I'm working on, this challenging social media thingy. So we did a little bit of user research, and then we couldn't find anything, really standing out in terms of competition. And I did also ask ChatGPT to create me some kind of summary of all the reviews that happens in those type of applications. So I have a report what type of features that our users are actually complaining. So that's good. I still haven't done the design meeting with the designer. So I will be doing more of a research, and I want to actually iron out some of the functionality and what the app, the MVP is going to look like. And after that, I want to go into the design stage. And Vasily said yesterday something actually really great that makes me think that I need to go out and speak to more people before spending time building this product. And I'm going to do that.
Hello. So I've been working on this video service where you can upload videos and stream videos directly from an S3 bucket on AWS. The reason that I'm using AWS is actually that I'm the most familiar with that, and I had a little bit of Azure experience and tiny bit of Google Cloud platforms. They're pretty much the same thing. I mean, there's not much of a difference in terms of like maybe a little bit of workflow, but in essential, in its core, they're providing pretty much the similar services to each other, and if it's not same, to be honest. And since I'm just familiar with the workflow and how it works with AWS, I just use AWS for this workflow. So I've already built this. I'm gonna share the UI with you and how it works in the following videos, but I just wanted to go through how I actually come up with the workflow for this video service. And let's have a look. Also, before I get into that, I just want to say that the reason I built this video flow is because most of the application, even though that I haven't validated my idea, most of the applications has similar types of features in them, like login or settings, or this uploading a video type of thing. I know that I want to have a video in my application, so I built this system beforehand while I'm also researching and trying to validate my idea and get the designs and everything. So the behind the scenes, that the engine of processing the video and everything, when I have the design and validated my idea, is going to be ready for me there, so I can just plug it and use it straight away. And let's get into it. So first, you just need an UI for user to add the file. Basically, it's just going to be an input where you can drop a file inside, and then once you have that, then I'm using API Gateway for all the API handlers, and I'm using AWS Lambda Serverless, which is a very, very efficient and cost-effective way of handling any kind of backend process. So it's on demand. It's not running when no one is using. So it's only running when people are actually making a request. And that's a very good and efficient way of doing things. So yeah, I'm sending a request, not the file, just a request at this point, saying Lambda that I want to upload a file into my S3 bucket. Please give me a signed URL. So what is a signed URL? That means a URL that comes with an authentication token for the S3 bucket. So why do we need that? Because if you want to keep your S3 and then your videos and your files private, you keep your bucket private. So that means that you need to authenticate every time you want to download or upload a file into that bucket. And since we don't have a way, like we don't have the AWS client. We don't want to do that from the client side, from the UI. We just use Lambda to generate us a signed URL. Then this signed URL is gets back to us because Lambda also checks for the authentication and everything. Also API gateway checks the authentication. If you have a authentication pool with AWS Cognito and everything. And then when your client, which is the front end, receives this pre-signed, pre-authenticated URL for uploading data, then you can make a request to that URL with your file, and then it will start the uploading process. Then my files are uploaded to S3. Then I'm triggering another Lambda function to make the file smaller, compressing the file. And I'm using FFmpeg. So I have used a layer on top of the Lambda because FFmpeg is requiring to be installed into the machine. And in order to do that, I have created an instance and then installed that package in there. And then I zipped it up. Then I created a layer into my Lambda function. Then I added the layer while I'm running the Lambda function. So that allowed me to access this compression package and compress my files. And once I compress my files, I delete the original because it's just too big and I don't want to keep that. You can, keep it if that's what you want, or if you have enough space and you don't worry about the cost and everything. But I choose to delete, and then delete the original one and save the compressed one, so that the compression is pretty much converting the 100 megabyte file into 1 megabyte-ish, or like 2 megabyte-ish smaller files. In terms of video, there's going to be a little bit of compression. You can imagine this as like, if you send a video from your phone to one of your friends using WhatsApp, you will see like the video quality is not the same as your phone. So that much of a difference that I'm talking about. It's still fine to watch the video. There is no difference that you can see, but it's compressing quite a bit, saves some space, and it's more efficient, also cost effective when you're actually pulling this video, streaming this video later on. It's going to be much more easier. So after I deleted my original file and then saved the compressed copy into the S3, then I'm creating a database record with the information of the files key in S3 bucket and how to access it, where to locate it, and then just add that record into my DB with the link to the user's ID. And then, so why do I do that? So when I go back to my UI, and then my UI gets the records, so gets the user, and then using that user ID calls these records that I created, and then these records containing the location of the file in the S3 bucket, then I can make another request and generate another signed URL, but this time getting the file back from the S3 into my UI. And then get another authenticated signed URL, then that goes into the UI. And then UI, you just pass this URL into your video player, and then your video player starts streaming the video. So that's pretty much it. Like, that's the entire process that I have built in the last 4 or 5 days. And yeah, I will be showing you how it actually works in action as well in the UI itself. And yeah, until then, I'll see you in the next video.